Hello everyone, welcome to our Arduino series of lessons. This is lesson number 16. We are doing passive infrared motion sensor, or known as PIR. Okay, so let's get a better view from our slide here. Okay, so the PIR motion sensor is a popular module for detecting movement in Arduino projects. Detect infrared radiation created by Homo, such as humans, animals, and any source of infrared. So it converts sensors analog signal to digital high or digital low. So to the system, it either sends a 1 or a 0. So this is our PIR motion sensor. This is the top view, and this knob on top, it's a plastic. It is just help for the angle detection, so that it can detect from various angles and receive infrared radiation. And then this is the bottom part. We have these potentiometers, then we have these pins. So this is the ground, this is the output as in the sensor pin, and this is now the power pin, VCC. Okay, so for the TX potentiometer, this potentiometer controls time delay, which is this one, of the output signal. Shortest time delay is 3 seconds, the longest will be 5. So turning it clockwise increases the time delay, the opposite will be true. This is the SX potentiometer sensitivity, so it's sensitivity potentiometer and it's time sensitivity potentiometer. Okay, so this potentiometer controls sensitivity range of the output signal. Shortest range 2 meters, longest range 7 meters. So turning it clockwise decreases this range. So it takes about a minute to fully initialize it before it starts. So it may give wrong readings if you just connect it and then jump start using it. Okay, so now let's take a look at our apparatus. Okay, so for our apparatus for the day, we have the Arduino board connected to our PC. We have the infrared sensor, as you can see in this one, with the 3 pins, those 3 pins there. We also have some jumper cables, and then for these pins I'm going to use this female ended to male ended pin. Okay, some then a few jumper cables and a LED, a resistor, just like that. So what I'm just going to do in this project is we are going to create a security system that when the sensor detects motion, it turns the LED on as a warning signal. You can either put on a speaker or something else for the intruder device, but on this one it is going to light our LED as a warning signal. So let's connect our circuit. So as you can see, this is a simple connection of a LED, which I have done in lesson number 5. So I'm just going to finish this circuit just to turn LED on. So my LED will be connected to pin number 4. So I'm just going to go on my Arduino, connect pin number 4. So this is pin number 4 on my Arduino. Then I'm going to connect it to my positive rail strip, like that. Okay. So after connecting to my positive rail strip, I'm now going to take the negative, the ground. I'm going to connect the ground wire. Then I'm going to connect to the ground of the LED. So for now, our circuit for just turning the LED on is now complete. Okay. If you have any questions for this circuit, I would advise you go and watch my one of my lessons on lesson number 5, where I did a digital write to turn an LED on. Okay, so now let me connect my PRI. Okay, so in order to connect PRI. I'm going to use this these male-ended pins to connect them to these pins right here. My camera is not focusing on this one, but you can actually see those 3 pins. So I have a gray LED, also a gray cable. I'm going to, let's start with the paper one. So for the paper one, I'm going to connect VCC. VCC is going to bring power to the project, so VCC right here. Then for the sensor pin, which is on the middle, I'm going to connect a white cable. Then lastly, for the ground, I'm going to connect a gray wire. So now we have our object looking like this with those 3 wires: VCC, paper, the sensor pin being white, and finally the gray pin being ground. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect the paper wire, which is for power. I'm going to connect it to our 5 volts on our Arduino, which is here, right here. Okay, so I have connected this on our 5 volts on Arduino. Now for the sensor pin, I'm going to connect it on digital pin number 2 on the digital side. Yeah. Okay. So, and finally we are left with the ground. And for ground pin, okay, our LED just turned on now. Let me just finish my connection, and okay, let me just make sure it's just do that. Should turn off. I think there was a code that was left in the Arduino board. Okay, so now I'm only left with the ground. I'm going to connect this ground on our wheel. So as you know, we have this ground which is from here, so I'm just going to connect this ground which we have, which is from right here. So we have a strip of ground which is this one, so this is where I'm going to connect our ground pin. So I'm just going to lift this, connect it a little bit further there, and finally connect this right here. So now we have our PIR sharing ground with this LED. We've created this ground strip, so we can put all your connections here. And we also have our PIR taking power right here from this 5 volts of the Arduino. Okay, so now let's make our PIR appear in on the camera. Oh, I just lost my cam. Okay, so now our circuit is done. Let me turn on the lights for a better view. Okay, so right now let's just write our code. So we have a bunch of integers that we need to declare. So the first integer that we're going to declare is motion. This is going to be from the motion sensor, which is a digital pin number 2, if you remember from our connection. Then we are going to declare another integer, motion status. Motion status, it is just going to help us in the Arduino code, you'll see. Then we have the LED pin, which is connected at pin number 4. Then we also have the initialization. So for this sensor, for this PIR sensor to actually work, it actually needs to initialize first. So initialization, that's around, I'm just going to put 6 seconds like that before we try to read any value from it. Okay, So the next one would be the, after reading any value, it needs a time to actually refresh. So so this is the sensor delay, sensor DT. It is just going to be 3 seconds. I'm just going to put 3 seconds like that. Sensor DT. So after sensor DT, all the sensors that all the integers need to declare are actually done. So under void setup, we actually have to do our serial print. Serial.begin 9600. After that, we have to draw a serial print of the initialization. Serial.print ln initializing like that. Oh, I have to put this, I forgot. So after initializing, now we have to actually do the delay for initialize. Initialize like that. So after that delay, now we do our pin modes. Pin mode lead, pin mode lead, which is output. Then after that, we do another pin mode of our sensor, which is an input. So pin mode motion, which is an input like that. Now we do another pin mode. Our pin modes are done. Now we go to the actual code and a void loop. So in a void loop, we need to get the value of our motion status. So motion, or in small letters, in this motion status is what I'm referring to. Motion status. Motion status is equal to digital read. So motion status is going to be either a 1 or a 0. So digital read on motion, just like that. Digital read on motion, that is where we get the value of our motion. So after getting it, we do a serial print. Serial.print so these are, it's going to say motion status goes. Now we do another serial print. Serial.print ln bracket. So now we want to actually get the value for the motion status. This value, this motion status, is what we need to print, the value that we have gotten there. So motion status like that. Then after that, now we go to the part where we have to actually let our LED light when we read motion. Okay, so we do this by using an if statement. So if motion status, if motion status is equal to 1, then we do a digital write, get our LED pin, setting it high, and then now we go on else that. Else it just means if our motion status is not equal to 1, we just do another digital right, which turns our length low. And finally, we now do our delay. After each read, we need to do a delay so that the sensor refreshes. So we are going to do a delay. The value is set in sensor dt, like that. Okay, so that is all for this code. Okay, now let us load it in our Arduino and see if it works perfectly well. Okay, what went wrong in... Oh, I got the wrong spelling of else. Wow, how that was very... Okay. Okay, it's done, uploaded. Okay, so now let me open my serial monitor. Serial monitor, initializing. Okay, let's just give room for this in this. Let me just slightly increase this. So once it is actually finished reading, so now here our motion status is 0. I'm just going to wave my hand here. You can see for our LED turns on. So now this is my hand. Now you see our LED is just turned on as I put my... Now I've removed my hand, in motion is went back to 0. Now let me keep my hand there for a while. This is my hand right here. Motion still reading 0. What's happening? Okay, now 1, I'm going to keep my hand right here, just moving it around, and again it is read 0. Okay, so the sensor is not that perfect, but as you can see, whenever there is no hand, it's 0, just like that. And when I put it okay, I think there's just a bit of glitch, but right now it's 0 and another 0 and another 0. Okay, now I'm just going to put my hand there, wait for a few. Now let's just see the reading. Okay, then the other thing, you actually have to correct on your potentiometers, and I think mine are not that aligned, but that's the circuit, and that's how you connect it. That's all for today.